Oh, and Tubi. Oh my goodness. I look at this Tubi list almost all the time when I'm looking for something. Wait, The Untouchables is an indie film?
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and Itisdpayne.
That's supposed to be Happy Mother's Day in Cantonese. I just looked down and had it written down because I had to say it to my future mother-in-law.
I was gonna say, you're past it based on this recording, which means you'll be even more past it by the time. But you know what? That's okay.
It's the thought that counts.
Is that the hint to what movie you watched for this week?
Nope.
Not a single mother to be found in it?
There are the spawns of mothers in this movie.
I didn't look at the list hard enough to know yet. Oh, I have a funny joke for you. So I think before we started recording last episode, you mentioned wanting to watch The Sheep Detectives, and I pointed out to you that it was in fact on the list. I met up with the retired coworker, and she came out to like lunch this last Tuesday, and we're all sitting there, and she goes,
came out faster than I thought. It's a spilled all over me. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
And she was like, yeah, we watched Sheep Detectives. I was like, oh, my friend really wants to watch that. What did you think? She's like, I watched my husband weep. And I'll say this is the third time in my life, and they've been married for forever, but she's like, this is the third time in my life that I've seen him cry. And I'm going to steal this joke from her because it's very funny. She said the 3 times she's seen him cry. 1, his father passing. 2, the Gettysburg Address. And now 3, the Sheep Detectives. Because he's a history teacher.
Okay.
So did you cry when you heard the Gettysburg Address?
No.
Oh, we'll find out if you'll cry for Sheep Detectives. I need to know the, like, 1 for 1.
Yeah. Like, I think I figured out the name that I'm going to call my significant other on the stream. It's what I call her on the stream and stuff. I realized I just do it naturally. And I was like, you didn't give me a nickname, so this is just what I'm going to call you when I'm talking on the mic. It's just, I call her the lady.
Capital T, capital L.
Capital D, the lady.
The lady.
The lady. Hey. It's like that thing. It's like, hey, if you say bacon, you're saying beer can with a Jamaican accent.
Oh, and then was it something car keys is...
Oh, yeah, khaki. In
Boston.
Whatever they're called. Hey, Boston. But yeah. No, it's funny because like I'll listen to like other people that like they're getting older, like in podcasts and stuff. Well, I haven't really been listening to a lot of podcasts because I'm just like, I'm done with podcasts for a bit. I'm just reading just reading books now on audio. Libby was a terrible thing for me to figure out how to actually work. But yeah, it was, they were like, yeah, man, I remember I would watch this movie and I'd be like, oh my goodness, it's so cool. And then I'll watch the same movie with my kids and all of a sudden it's just like I'm there bawling my eyes out and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what, there's movies, well, most of the movies I would not watch with my niece. But I'm like, no, there's stuff there where I'm like, there is a new feeling. A new emotion has touched the beacon. Empathy. Gross. Well, I can't go to politics anymore. Anyway.
I was going to say, it makes you too woke.
It's all good. If that makes me woke, well, cool.
But yeah, so I was looking at all of the rules again to remind myself of what we got to do now that we're back to rolling dice. So the reason I say it like that is because for a few weeks we didn't have anybody that was a winner twice in a row or a loser twice in a row.
But
now we do. So you get advantage when you roll the dice, and then
you pick the die.
I picked the dice, and I thought that. And I also, both of us essentially get a chance to respin the wheel.
Yes.
Well, we'll see, depending how we roll.
I hope we watch the same movie, but you said you rented yours, so...
I mean, I could be a fool. I could
I'll
have
let
not
you
looked
know.
hard
Do you
enough.
have Disney Plus?
I almost watched a movie on Disney Plus, but I changed my mind.
Okay. I forgot that I had. Well, I was going to watch a different movie, and then this was on the opening header, and I'm like, oh, hold up. Oh, that's on the list. Cool. I didn't really want to watch this first movie anyway. It's the only one I knew I didn't have to pay for. I'm pretty sure that it's a pretty clear guess of what that movie was.
I was willing to watch that movie because I do like the director. If we're thinking of the same one, but we'll get there in a second. So I
Yeah.
have to pick a dice.
Yes.
Let's go with a D6.
Alrighty. You know what? I'm not even gonna open up the thing because I've been playing Traveler and I got like 800 D6 right in front of me.
Just roll
I was about
one
to
at
say
a time.
I was saying spoilers. Hey, they don't roll well, and then I realized that's the whole point of this one. You gotta roll low.
And you get 2 chances.
Yep. Sorry, I just realized that the actor also has animal. Here's the first one. Oh. That's alright. I'm rolling my second one. Okay, my first one was better. Let's see. My highest one was a 4.
I am much lower than that.
My did you roll a 1?
I did roll a 1.
Okay, I rolled a 2 on my other one.
All right. Wow, that's 3 in a row.
Wow, who is this person with their loaded die?
I swear. It's just the spell dice. I believe they're balanced. Not sponsored.
I didn't use the spell dice. Let's see. If I did, what would it have been just for science? Oh, wait a second. Why is there a line? Oh, it's because this is like a clear die. The 6 right here, it's not. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it on the screen a little bit. There's the line to show you where the 6 is. Mm-hmm. Hold on, the makeup tutorials.
But that is funny
you
because
can
there's
kind
no.
of see at the top. There's another line,
But it's not technically close.
but
to
it's the 3.
Because it's see-through. Fine.
Yes, and that's why I was like, wait a second. Why is there a 9 on my D6? Okay, let's see. That's a 4, and I rolled the same. It didn't matter.
Fate said.
Yeah, I wasn't going to switch. I just was curious. Anyway, you got to think of a joke. I got to find a fact. When we get to next year, we're not going to know what to do with ourselves for this opening show.
We'll have so many less rules that it'll be us
We
just
won't have any
yapping longer.
rules. Yeah, we'll just have roll die. Fact of day. Oh, hey, this is the one. Alright. I guess you can let me know when to stop clicking the random button.
Stop.
Oh, this one's boring. Anyway, it says, it's impossible to lick your elbow. As
That's
my
very,
brain's like...
It's a very schoolyard prank
yeah,
thing.
as I'm just like...
Well, if you have hypermobility, could you?
Let's see. Sorry, I clicked the randomize button one more time, and I don't know how they got the statistic, which just feels much more of a random fact. 3.9% of all women do not wear underwear.
Did they take a survey and say that this represents all women? Like
It's like how do they figure that out, and what constitutes as underwear? And like, of
don't
where?
ask me.
Where is the sample size? Like,
if I was walking on the street and someone came up to me, we have a survey, we have an important survey, I'd be like, what's up? And then they ask me, do you wear underwear? I'd be like, don't talk to me.
yeah, which is the right answer. But it's like but no, it just begs the question. Like, okay, here's
What's your
where,
sample? Did you ask
what's your
100
sample
women?
size?
Did you ask 1,000 women?
Like, but then also, like, was this in America, or is this like, or is this worldwide? This just
It's not getting
like,
very
I
scientific.
could say this. Yeah, I could say this too. Like, hey, 97.3 men don't wash their face. I put this
Seven.
evidence together from talking to a lot of my fiance's friends. Actually, just overhearing the conversation. But anyway, sorry.
Did you
Cut
know
off.
7.8% of the time, I don't care. Like, I can say
Yeah.
whatever I want. Who's gonna fact check me?
I don't know why, but it was just like the way you kind of paused on there. Like I thought you were gonna say, "Hey, do you know 7 point Italian?" I was like, "Where's the Italian coming into this?" And then there wasn't Italian at all.
You just filled that in all on your own.
Yeah, you know what? I don't like this fact either. What's the All right, here's a good fact.
Okay.
Ketchup was sold in the 1830s as medicine.
All I've learned is everything was medicine. Coca-Cola was medicine because you put a little cocaine in something and all of a sudden people feel good.
Yeah, and then the government got in the way. I'm actually looking this up. Was this true? Hold up. I don't want the AI answer. Please give me like the Wikipedia. All right. Historyandmystery.org also sounds like a good website. Okay. The key takeaway. Ketchup was originated in the 1830s as a purported, or I don't know if I'm reading that word right, cure-all for various health issues. It also was sold as a medicine and sold in, it was popular, okay, the Dr. John Cook Bennett popularized ketchup as medicine and sold it in pill. You know why it was probably medicine? It's because no one ate their vegetables, and then with this, they are getting their fiber intake and like.
Well, there's also the whole, for a long time, people believed tomatoes were poisonous. So maybe
Yeah.
they were like, well, if it's not poison, maybe it's medicine. Because was it nightshade is poisonous and they're cousins?
I don't know. When I think of Nightshade, I think of Skyrim, and then
I can't believe you don't know about the fact about the guy getting rich off of eating tomatoes on the roof of a building.
Nope.
He was like, give me a nickel, because nickels back then were actually worth something. He was like,
Yeah.
if you give me a nickel, I'll eat a tomato. They're like, oh my god, he's gonna die. Everyone give him all your money. Let's see how many he eats before he passes out. And he just stood there. Was like, tomato. Thanks for the money. Like.
The last thing was ketchup was marketed to treat ailments such as like diarrhea, indigestion, and jaundice. So, ketchup
Tubby.
was their original Pepto-Bismol.
Exciting.
And the other thing this has nothing to do with the facts, but you just said, hey, when nickels used to be worth something. For 2 weeks in a row where I parked to do my laundry, there's been a nickel there. It's the same nickel, and I was like, I should pick that up. And I was like, I'll get it on the way back. And then I forget about it every time because I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. I hate laundry day. And then it's like, I'm wondering, will it be there for a third week? And I do laundry on Wednesdays. So if I remember, well, it won't be next episode because we're not recording on a Wednesday. But hey, don't worry, folks. I'll forget.
Leave a comment or a review reminding him to pick up his nickel.
Yeesh.
But so now I have to come up with a joke. Let's see. I had it in my head and then I got distracted by the concept of ketchup tummy medicine.
Yes.
I guess I'll have to see myself out of here and exit the situation.
Oh, you watched Exit 8?
Yeah, I watched Exit 8.
Nice. I wanted to watch that, and then I was like, I'm not paying $8 or $10 to $20, how much ever it was.
It was like it was $10, but I think I still had a leftover gift card. So.
Okay. Yes.
So I'm assuming we do not have the same starting letter.
We
for
do
our
not
movies.
have the same movie.
No. But we also have, if they start with the same letter, we have to do a show and tell.
Oh, it was the same letter? Oh my god.
That was the last rule that we added.
I didn't. Sorry. I was just making sure I didn't miss any comments because I realized I haven't checked in a bit. Exit 8? No. Okay. No.
Okay. Who makes a new rule?
You.
Ew.
We'll stop winning. All I do is win. And you go first, so.
Let's see.
I also will say while you're thinking of a rule, and we said that we'll work together on this. So how about the winner comes up with like the trigger, and the loser will come up with the other half.
I have an idea. I have something
Okay.
silly. So,
Or we can do that too.
take bets.
Me out to the ball game.
The rating the other host gives their movie. If you get it right, you can
Get a Rice Krispie treat.
you
You.
so take bets on the rating the other host gives their movie. If you get it right, you can skip on your joke or fun fact.
Oh, less work. All right. So, is it all? Are we doing like? How are we doing this? Like, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 5.
Let's do 1 out of 10. And we
Alright.
already did our joke and fun fact, so I guess it'll be for the next episode.
Yes.
We'll just have to make our notes. So, you know what movie I watched, so take your secret bet in your notebook. Because you're going to write the title in time.
Yeah, I already did write the titles. I'm getting the time set up. The only thing is I don't really have a lot of room in here. Oh, wait, that's the calculator. It's not the timer. I always open my calculator instead of the timer. Stop. Watch. Nope. Timers. There we go. Let's see. Hey. The other thing is I don't want to write down like another number and be like, why did I write that number down?
All right. I can put it in...
I'm going to write it in... Oh, you're going to write it there? I was going to write it in the Discord and not hit enter.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's fine.
All right, so exit 8.
It's funny when we don't know our...
Yeah, well, like, the thing is, I'm wondering, like, are we gonna... Oops, I dropped my pen. 1 sec. Like, okay, we're just going off vibes, and this is the thing, I haven't even seen it. Okay, I'm gonna write... I wrote something somewhere. I saw where I wrote it. Good thing... Okay.
All right.
Okay, are we doing like just
whole numbers?
whole no okay. That was the I was like, okay, if I have to come up with a point something. All right. So I wrote it in the Discord.
No, I saw somebody reviewing books. They're like, I give it a 6.7. I was like, I can't. I'm willing to do 0.5.
Yeah.
Don't ask me for anything else in between.
All right. Well, I will start your time in the next 2 seconds if you're ready.
I think I am.
All right. I have started your time.
Okay, so Exit 8 is based off of a video game of the same name. I had seen some short clips of people playing the video game, and I was curious on the adaptation and what they would do, because if I remember correctly in the video game, they don't really give you lore. Basically what Exit 8 is, I guess as a brief description without giving too much away from the movie, is Exit 8, the video game, is what I like to call like an observation game. And there's a whole series of games called like Observation Room, I believe it is, and things along those lines.
I heard them called like Anomaly Hunters or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Anomaly Hunters. But there is like a whole series. There's like Observation Room, and there's like 8 of them, last I checked. But basically, it's just this concept of you're put into a situation. A lot of the major anomaly ones are kind of like you're working security for this weirdly shaped house, and you're flipping through cameras. And you need to be able to stop weird things from happening, or too much weird stuff happens and it's game over. Exit 8 takes that kind of like gameplay, except rather than you going through security cameras in different rooms to try and just point out random stuff. Like sometimes it's like, oh, this book wasn't open before, or, oh, this door is open, or oh, hey, there's like a haunted creature in the corner for whatever reason. Exit 8, rather than it feeling stationary and you like just flipping through channels, kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's, where you have like the different views. Exit 8 is first person, and you're meant to like look at a repeated hallway. Mm-hmm. And then different things can happen. And so I was curious how the movie would work and if there would be like a consistent plot line. so to speak. And it does seem like they've added a plot and kind of an explanation as to why someone may be trying to do this. And the thing that I thought was really interesting for me to watch is the set design was better than I expected, because I feel like a lot of the times when I see movies try to replicate games, it feels like they try to make the video game different, right? Because sometimes, like, not every video game translates well to movie, and I'm like, well, why are we just because it's a popular IP doesn't mean we have to do it and give it the same name. But imagery wise, it was like identical, like the colors seemed identical, like the way that the room feels and the hallway feels felt identical, and kind of like that emptiness, because the setting for it is essentially supposed to be like a Japanese subway where you go underground to like connect to either the exit or like another, the name of the movie, the exit, or like other train stations. And for most people that live in larger cities or have visited larger cities, you know, like going through subway tunnels, usually they're not creepy because they're so busy, especially if you're going during a normal hour of day. And in the movie, they set it up that the guy is doing rush hour where he's going to work at like 9 in the morning. So the movie starts out, it's very cramped, the train is completely full, and then he turns a corner and there's nobody there. So it immediately takes you from like, oh, this is an everyday thing. He just gets a phone call that kind of like flips his world upside down, and then completely silent. And he's just standing there like, the people. There were people here before. And then I think what I really liked too, at first I thought the movie was going to be all in first person, and I was like, I have not seen a movie filmed in a way like this in a while, like just me and my personal preferences. But shortly after they kind of do the introduction and set up the situation he's in, then it goes into third person, and you're watching him react to everything. And I was like, okay, I don't know how I would feel if it was all in first person, especially some of the weird things that happen to him. And sometimes they do jump kind of into a first person view to make it disorienting for the viewer. But if the whole thing was in it, I probably would have gotten really nauseous. So I'm glad that they didn't choose to do that. But yeah, and I was also a little worried because the game itself is a rather short game. I was worried that it would feel like it was doing too much just to pad time. I think the movie is an hour and a half, but they did kind of intersperse or slice in a few other short storylines that kind of make sense with what they've decided to do for the main plot. So it kind of helped flesh it out without it feeling super samey. So that I didn't mind. But yeah, I thought it was really fun. I think it has, like after watching the movie The Substance, I think I'm noticing kind of like a pattern for what some of the more modern kind of horror soundtracks seem to be favoring. Like it definitely has those moments where like, hey, look, the main character is anxious, and then you hear the bum. Or they use a lot of, I've noticed stylistically a lot of use of kind of, you know how like on YouTube they used to like do font editing to kind of transition between scenes. Substance kind of does that as well. And then I noticed in Exit 8 it also has like little moments where they do kind of almost title cards when they want to talk about a different character as the main character for a little bit. And so it's kind of interesting because before us like doing these challenges for ourselves, I wasn't really paying attention to movies, let alone paying attention to movies within like kind of buckets. Because now we've watched a lot of like horror from like the 70s and 80s, and then we've dabbled a little bit in like the 2010s, but some of them are a little too reliant on their CGI, so it makes it hard to like watch them as they age. And then now I'm watching movies now that are mixing practical effects along with computer generated stuff, and then it's interesting to see how like there's styles throughout all the different like buckets of movies. But yeah, so I'd say overall Definitely a fun watch for Exit 8. I feel like I'm not talking a lot about the plot, but I feel like it's one of those movies that almost, I think, feels better or more interesting to watch the less you know about it. More so, not because of like the observation aspect per se, but I think that a lot of the kind of stress that the main character goes through is something that the viewer could feel if they don't know much about like the potential scenarios that the character finds themselves in. And while we were watching it, Strider was able to point out some of the earlier ones that they show off are identical to the game, where he'd be like, "Oh, I remember that," or "Oh, okay, yeah, I remember seeing that too." So for him, like and then he did chuckle at some points because he kind of had those moments where he was like, "Oh, I know what's about to happen," but I think he did mention, he said it would be interesting to hear someone's reaction to the movie if they had know absolutely nothing about the game and just went to the movies and happened to go and watch it. But yeah, I'd say it's one of those, they like advertise the genre is horror, but I think it's one of those more subtle types of horror where it's not, it's scary if you can put yourself in the main character's shoes, right? Because how much would it suck to be stuck in a cycle and you're doing your best to guess your way out? And the character does have a lot of those moments where he's like, he thinks he has it figured out, and then he gets distracted or makes a mistake, and then he's just like, I'm stuck forever, this fucking and like has his little meltdowns. So I think it's done well from that standpoint. I did like all the actors. Child actor, it's a kid. it's he I it's kind of interesting because I feel like we've recently watched some movies where we're like, wow, that kid can act. I felt like the kid in Exit 8 couldn't quite act. And at first I wasn't sure if that was on purpose because there is a lot of almost uncanniness to some of the interactions that happen in the movie. But no, I think the kid was just like, I think they told the kid like, oh, be a little quiet and be a little nervous. And then he ended up like, if I wasn't reading it translated into English, I probably wouldn't be able to hear him in the way he's talking sometimes. But yeah, I think it's like very stylistic too. It's very purposeful in its colors and the times that they bring in different effects. And there is some stuff I thought was a little cheesy in terms of trying to, I think they tried really hard to make it all feel connected, but then it kind of just feels like, oh yeah, I did see that earlier. Okay. So I think for some people, maybe the reveals are bigger if they decided that something wasn't important. But again, we watch a lot of movies, so I see something in my face in the beginning of the movie and I go, that's gonna come up later. Because in almost every movie, I think it's Chekhov's gun is the what they call it. But yeah, I do think, like, you sounded like you were interested in watching it. I think if you can get access to it without having to rent it, I think you would like it a lot. It has a lot of the things, I think, from hearing us both talk about foreign films, it has a lot of the things that we like, where not everything's told to you. It doesn't hold your hand. And something about, I don't know if it's specific to like the Japanese movies I happen to watch, but I feel like Japanese actors, if you tell them, hey, have a panic attack, you're like, oh god, they're having a panic, like they actually look like they're having a panic attack.
It's a racial trait.
Because, like, I don't know, like, watching Old Boy the other week, I was like, yeah, whenever I watch Korean films, they're just so mad. They're so good at being bad. Like, like us watching Parasite and then Train to Busan and things like that, even though they're from different directors and different, like, times that they released, like, you just buy into the fact that they're really mad at whatever it is they're mad at. And the times I've watched Japanese film, even back to Kurosawa, where you're like, hey, he's not doing well. Can someone check on that actor? Is he actually hyperventilating?
He's still singing in the snow. Is he okay?
But there's two characters that had moments like that, like very significant moments like that in this movie, and I was just like, get the man a therapist. But no, yeah, so If I had to give an overall, just flat out rating, are you ready? Do you have your bet ready and open?
I have it. I have it written down in the Discord.
Okay, I think I would give it.
I'm showing that my hands are up on camera, so that I'm not writing it down.
I think I land at a 7
I wrote an 8.
for Exit 8.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. I was like, all right. That's like, yeah. And then I was like, should I change my answer as you're talking? He's like, no, that's not within the spirit.
That's not how you bet. Yeah, I think the only things that, like I said, I think stylistically it's really fun. I think that it's a very easy ride to find yourself on. Like, the premise is straightforward enough. I think the reasons for me personally that it's not like a perfect movie. I did think that the plot that they introduced was a little like, I don't know if on the nose, but it does feel a little, I guess I find it not something super relatable, so then it doesn't feel like I connect with the character that much. And then there were some parts of it that kind of leaned into that. And then, like I said, there were some parts that I thought were a little cheesy when they clearly wanted to kind of make a statement about something else to try and like make it full circle. But overall, yeah, I know you got me. I tried my best not to yawn. But no, I still thought it was a lot of fun. And I do think it's like, while I know you said you have like the one rating system where you're like, oh, this is a movie I would watch with friends. I would watch Exit 8 with friends, but not in a way to like make it more enjoyable, but almost to watch how they how they react to all the different situations. Because there are some moments in the movie where Strider and I were like, don't be silly. Don't just pay attention. It's so straightforward. Are you not paying attention? And then the character, again, is stressed out about something and makes a decision. And we go, I know you're having a tough time, buddy, but you just made it harder on yourself. So, yeah.
Well, if we roll the thing, hey, watch what the previous host watched, I will fulfill Strider's wish because I have not played the game. I know of the game, and I think the only thing I know about Exit 8 is watching the guy get the accidental speed run for it.
I don't think I've seen that clip.
He pretty much, it's like he was able to beat the game, I think, like in 1 minute and 30 seconds because like he only had to walk down the staircase like the whole length maybe like 3 times. But like the first 5 times it was like I don't even know what the anomaly was, but he's just like, oh, it's this, and it was like all stuff that he could see as soon as he like turned the corner. He's like, oh,
turned around right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he was like, and then like sometimes he had to like walk halfway, and he's like, okay, and like had to run. So it was just like he got like multiple things where he could just spot like turn the corner, like, oh nope, right, nope, all right, nope, oh, and he's like, and then.
He didn't even have to walk into the hallway.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, so like he just knew the game that well, and then it was just and it was just like, yeah, beat it within, like just everything aligned, and he knew the game that well, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't know any games that well.
I don't think I do either. But yeah, how am I doing on time?
You're doing really good. You got like 4 minutes left.
I don't think there's much else I want to say.
Yeah, this feels like one of those movies that it's like, if you haven't played the game, or even if you have, it's like, the less you know, the better. Like, here's the premise, and you're just going along the journey with them.
Yeah, because I'd say, like, if you've played the game, there is, like, an additional plot added. I don't know if you'll feel like it adds anything in particular to the game itself, but I think it at least would be kind of one of those like fun things, like, oh, haha, I've seen that. That's my little Easter egg.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think I've covered everything I wanted to about the movie.
Aye. And then
I hand the
Okay.
staff over to you. So give me your title, and I'll write down my bet.
All right, hold on. I gotta reset the timer. All right, pause. Reset. All right. So I watched the movie Send Help.
Oh, I thought that's the one that one I thought was on Disney Plus.
It
Is
is
it
on
also
Disney.
is it also on Tubi?
No. Okay, so what I originally was gonna watch was Begonia,
Oh, okay, okay.
and that
I see.
was that. It was on Fossum, which was pretty much Tubi, just not as nice looking. Uh, because I remember seeing a clip about it, and all I know of that movie is that the two people shave Emma Stone's head off, like not her head, but like her hair,
Her whole head.
her whole head. But like the premise sounded really funny, and I'm like, I don't have to pay money for it. And then I
Okay.
was like, but then they took that off of Fossum. I'm like, okay, well, can't do that. And so I was looking around, and then I was like, maybe I'll watch Devil. I almost said Devil May Cry because
Oh,
that's
Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada. I was thinking about watching that, and I was like, sorry, I forgot to write the time down when I started.
Started. Yeah.
Well, not at least the talking thing. I think it was around there. Uh, yeah. So I'll start my time now, and boop. Yeah. So I was thinking about watching that, and then as soon as I opened up Disney Plus, that was like the first thing up there. I'm like, why does that look so familiar? Wait a second, is that on the list? And I was like, all right, I'll watch this. So
Yeah, I almost watched it because I do like the director Sam Raimi a lot. He did the
Yeah.
Evil Deads. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the older Spider-Man movies.
Yes. He didn't do the. Let's see, what else did he do? Oh, he did one of the Doctor Strange movies. Oh, and he did Oz, the Great and the Powerful. Oh, anyway, I didn't watch that either. But yes. Now I was thinking of a different person, but knowing that he made this and the Evil Dead and all that stuff, I'm like, oh, okay.
Does it all make sense?
There's editing choices that make sense.
Okay.
But anyway, do you have your guess written down? Because I'm gonna
Yes.
go talking. Okay, so this movie, it is considered a survival horror thriller. Imagine it is. I can see the movie. It's got Tom Hanks.
Castaway
Yes,
with
it's
the
like
volleyball.
yes. It is Castaway meets like it's Castaway with trust issues is pretty much what it is. So like pretty much Linda Little is played by Rachel McAdams, and she is like they do a very good job at the beginning of this movie giving you secondhand embarrassment, like really really bad. Like it's
That
just
also sounds like Sam Raimi's style. Yeah.
and it's just like it's one of those things like you're just sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, please stop talking to everyone and everything, please. And it's like, oh my goodness. I'm like, I don't know if I'm like, I hope this isn't the whole movie because I didn't watch anything going into this movie. I was just like, I don't gotta pay for it. Let's go. But so they do that. We learn that she she was told by the previous CEO that she was promised a VP position after like some deal or something was going on. But like that was at the Christmas party, and at this point in time in the Christmas party, that that person died, and their son is taking over the business. Mm-hmm. And like before we see that, there's this like other guy that's all there that's just like he's like like everyone likes him. He's got great teeth, good hair, young, attractive, and he's just like, yeah. And like Linda's like, hey, I got all those numbers. I worked all night. Here's everything. He's like, oh, don't worry. I'll put it at the top of the pile. Make sure everyone knows who you're. And she's like, so like he takes like the files, goes away, and she's like, oh man. And then it's like awkwardly tries to insert herself into this conversation as these two coworkers are like, hey, let's do karaoke. He's like, I love karaoke, you know? The song like gonna find you, gonna get you, yeah, okay. And they're like, yeah, and they just like separate, and she's like, okay, and then like looks and sees that the guy that she handed all the paperwork for took her name off of it, threw in the top, like threw away her name, put her report on the bottom. It was just like, yo nerds, what's up? And like we don't hear what he says, but he's just like, he goes in and it's just like, okay, I spent all night doing this and I'm not even appreciated for it.
Yeah.
So she's telling her bird all this stuff that is like, hey, this is what's gonna happen. Like it's like I'm promised this and everything. So it's like the following day or the next like week or something. They don't really tell time in the beginning part. They announce who the person is. I don't recognize the actor. Dylan O'Brien is his name. I don't know if he was in anything.
I think he was really popular when we were like in college, because I've seen him around a lot on like favorite actors lists, but I didn't really recognize him either. Let's see.
He was in Maze
Teen,
he was
Teen Wolf yeah.
Okay, now that I'm scrolling through his Wikipedia, I was like, I recognize his baby face. I didn't recognize his like
adult. I think he took
face.
Yeah, I think he took a little break from acting.
Yeah, it looks like it, or at least not as much. He was Pony Boy. Oh no, he's Vinny in the movie Pony Boy. I didn't know they made a movie of that. Anyway, it's not important. But it looks like he did all the Maze Runners and was in one of the Bumblebee movies. But yeah. So anyway, he's doing all that. And like
is he the son?
He's the CEO's son. The new CEO, and pretty much like she goes up and is like, hey, she learns from other people that the person that's been taking credit for all her work is taking the VP spot that she was promised. And even though like the other heads of like the business, we get like a quick snapshot of the new CEO, the son, talking with like the business partners of his father. He's like, she's a workhorse. I'm letting you know, if you do something and she leaves, like the company's screwed. She is what keeps this going, and your dad recognized that. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. It's going to my friend who I went to college with. We were in the same sorority and all that stuff. And then we learned that guy that's been stealing like all her credit has only been there for like 6 months. It's it's just that he's a people person and she isn't.
Yeah.
So she's like, yo, I heard about this. What's going on? And he's like, I was not expecting to have this conversation with you. And like kind of half-hearted, he's like, yo, we're going to be going to Bangkok. I want you on the plane. We can discuss it there and can figure it all out. And she's like, oh, okay, let's do this. And then she shows up and he's like, oh, crap.
Like, one of those, like, I thought it was too tall of an ask. Yeah.
Yes. And so, and then, like, while she's on there, she's, like, in the back. There's the boys club in the middle of there, and she's in the back and, like, writing out, like, has her headphones on, like, writing out the merger, like, everything they need to know to get this done. And then the guy's up front, the guy who's, like, pretty much getting the position that she's supposed to, he's like, hey, look at what I found. And she's a huge Survivor fanatic.
Okay.
And so he found her Survivor audition tape. And so they're playing it, and it's just like she's socially awkward in that as well. And she's like oblivious to it all. They're all laughing, and then like she looks up and just sees what's happening and like starts tearing up. And it's just like deletes all the work she did, and she's like, okay, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
To where the flight attendant's like, hey everyone, buckle up, things aren't going well, we're getting to a storm. And like all the guys are like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then it's like the hand of God's like, no, she said buckle up, suckers. And like they're like flying around, the plane gets hit. And then we get the first taste of some very CGI graphic violence as somebody, like, I've seen that was supposed to be in 3D, and I'm like, that guy who got his teeth kicked out was definitely supposed to be 3D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so like the plane crashes, and Linda and the son wake up on this island somewhere in the Gulf of Thailand. They don't know where it is, and they have to survive.
Okay.
So like that, everything I just said there is like maybe the
Just
first
the intro.
Yeah, it's like maybe the first 20-ish minutes. And then after that, it's interesting because it's we like Linda's able to use her like all her survival skills and stuff she learned to be on the show. And she's like getting just like food, she's getting like shelter, she's getting everything set up, and she's having like the time of her life doing this because she's just like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And like very early on, like she finds the CEO's son, and she kind of helps him, dresses his wound, like gets him water, all this stuff. And the overall is just like she helps him out, and he is very ungrateful. Like, and it's like from that going forward, you would expect it to be something like, hey, let's, like, there's going to be like, hey, we're going to be coming together, a heartwarming story and all this stuff. No, because there's certain things that Linda does, and because the whole movie we see from her perspective, that we're just like, hold up, that's shifty. And it's just like, you're like, because at first you're like, yeah, girl, get your revenge on this jerk. Like, all his friends died. You guys are stuck on this deserted island. It's like, and she's like, no, I'm going to take care of you, all this stuff and everything. And you're just like, the son's, and his name's Bradley. And you're like, Bradley, like, dude, you can't even walk, and you're constantly just still putting her down. And like, he says a line like while he's can't walk, and he's just like, you still work for me. And she's like, oh, really? So she leaves, and he's like dying of thirst. Like, she leaves for a whole day, and she comes back, is like, so you want to listen to him? He's like, yeah. And so, but like, so like there's that, and it keeps going this back and forth where you're just like, oh man, yeah, Linda, get your revenge against Bradley. Like, he deserves it. He was a jerk. You only knew him for like 24 hours and like everything he did. And then we see things that she's doing that you're just like, hold up, that doesn't make sense. And it's like this, it does a really good back and forth of like, who should we be rooting for? Are they gonna like each other? And like it builds the tension in a good way. And so I think this will be I guess no, I was like, let me tell you a score, but I was like, no, because I felt like I didn't give like I felt like I would be misleading. So I would say like it was really good at that. There was a lot of points of it where it's just like it felt like certain parts went on too long.
Okay.
Where we're just like, oh, okay. And there's something else, like when it's the climax of the movie starts to happen. We get a lot of CGI violence, and to the point where it feels unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like this whole scene where it's like pretty much like to describe it, somebody sticks their thumb into the person's eye, between the eye and their eye like
Ugh.
socket bone
Ugh.
stuff, and that's all CGI as the like eye is like bulging and squishing.
Ugh.
And then like later the eye's fine. But it's just like that doesn't seem like it'd be fine. It's like, dude, I'm out of commission when I get an eyelash in my eye. Like, you got a whole dang thumb. They must have wear contacts. But it's just like there's stuff like that where like I know what they were going for is just like how bad everything is and how but it's just I think the CGI violence and like gore that they show is so over the top that it takes you out of the scene and makes it not comical but just like, oh, okay, that happened, I guess. And like same in the very beginning, like when the accident happens where it's just there's like whole things of just like it comes off more just like, yeah,
It's just like it's just gratuitous. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
add anything. Okay.
yeah, and it's just like some it's like, okay, like all I can do is kind of chuckle at the way it's set up, and other stuff it's just like, oh, okay, we got the point. We didn't need to see the guy get his teeth kicked out 3 times. The first time was good enough. And so there was that. And then like I think it did a good job because I do feel like a lot of the stuff that they do for the survival stuff is stuff that you could actually do in real life.
Is that why like the gore felt so out of place? Because you're like other than like the ridiculousness of the situation, you could kind of see some of the stuff that they were doing as like a little grounded.
Yeah. And the other thing is like the island, like they had a whole island, and there's reasons why we don't like, but it feels like they don't explore the island enough. And there's a partial reason why, but it kind of feels like a cop out by the end of it, where it's just like, oh, okay, there's this whole other set piece to the island that like I felt like if it was introduced earlier, like if they cut out like one back and forth scene and moved to this other thing earlier, it would probably hold more weight. But the fact that they don't, it just feels like it's just thrown in like at the end. And so there's that. But it feels like we only get one tour of the island, and it's just like there's stuff that it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense for later. Like for other, it's like as you said with Exit 8, there's scenes that are being set up like for them showing us different things, but it's just like, oh, okay. And then like there's other stuff where it's like I know it's supposed to show that they're like starting to trust each other and stuff, but like anytime that they would show trust, it's like the borderline's like, oh, don't tell me they're gonna start like falling in love. And because it's like of just different things that they're doing, like they set it up to feel like they're doing that.
Okay.
But it feels like any time that they as characters open up or trust each other, that's like the next scene they take like 3 steps back, and it's like not even for like something serious. It's like just like, hey, we can't like them like each other. Like even as like,
or the movie would end, yeah,
or and like it would become a different movie. So it's just like, oh, they're beginning to bond. Oh no, here's some random thing that's just like out of left field. So, But my time's almost up, and that's kind of like my pluses and minuses about it. So I will ask you what do you think my score is?
Okay, so I have written for your score a 6.
That is what I was gonna give it. It was like a
Ah!
6 or 7. I was gonna expect 6 or 7 because it was just like it was back and forth for me because I'm just like it's not a bad movie, but I'm like it's a slightly above average movie.
Yeah, when I considered what rating I thought you might give it, is that I know I love the Evil Dead series and things like that, but I also feel like the Evil Dead series is almost like, it feels like sometimes they try to reheat the nachos in that, and it's something about the magic of the way that movie was set up, like, I feel like it's hard to recreate. And I feel like the horror movies I see that tend to follow that kind of same vibe, which I got because when I was reading the little bit about Send Help, they're like, it's a comedy horror. I was like, all right, it's going to be fine. Because most of these, for whatever reason, they just end up being fine.
Yeah. Like, it's better than a Christmas horror movie. But yeah, I feel like if they brought a couple elements in a little bit earlier, it would have let the climax and the whole, like,
Payoff,
the confronting have a little bit more weight, or there's like, it's something that is a pretty big spoiler and a big shift in how certain characters interact, and it's just like I felt if they brought that in another, like if they cut one of the back and forth between the two mains and like kind of did this event and then had the after effect, because there's pretty much like there's an event that happens on the island and people, like, because of it, change how they interact and everything, and it's just like, okay, I feel like that would have been a little bit more interesting to see that play, rather than be like 4/5 of the movie is this like back and forth of like, oh, I didn't show you how to do this, oh man, you used that thing against me, that was really smart, but hey, I'm always one step ahead, blah blah blah. And then like the last fifth of the movie is just like, bah! But yeah, it is what it is. Like, as I said, as I smack my desk, it's not a bad movie, but
there are things you would have loved to have seen it do.
It wasn't depressing enough.
For being trapped on an island together with somebody that's gonna doesn't appreciate you.
Yeah, that's gonna be the dead giveaway for me to have like a 9 to 10. It's like, yeah, so this was like a depressing movie. All right.
He was at the end of his life, and he just wanted to prove that he was a good person after all. And I was like, oh, it's a 9.5 for Dpayne. Yeah. I'll go right in the middle.
It's at least a 9, maybe a 10. Hold up, is everyone sad? They are all sad. So yeah, that's 11 out of 10. So yeah, I'm gonna forget. So you better make yourself a note.
Yeah, I wrote it down next to so I figure what I'll use the space right next to that rule will be who gets to skip for the next recording. Okay. Their little thing.
Sounds good. Sorry, I'm just cracking because I finally clicked back here and it's like all in caps, like, me, skip.
All right. Anything else you want to say about your movie before I go to Del Wheel?
Nah, I'm good. I think I said all that I want. It's the fun part where it's just like it's old enough where it's not old enough for me to feel okay spoiling, but at the same time I'm like,
I almost watched it, so we could have had spoiler time.
We could have had
I think I started like a few minutes of it, and then I started and I said to myself, I just really want to watch Exit 8. So, yeah. Because I was, like, looking at different things. I was like, oh, theoretically, I do have a login. Someone's logged into my TV with Disney+. But, yeah. I ended up just putting out the money for Exit 8.
It's all good. I I'm going to actually write down the time for when the wheel is going to spin, because last time I didn't, so I had to scroll through the last 10 minutes to find out when we put it.
All right, I'm going to start recording now.
All right.
And I am going to hit spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel. It's the wheel of possibilities and cheese.
So it landed on watch an indie film, and I have 2 links provided. One for Tubi and another on Cinemaholic. So you got a Tubi category.
Yeah, I'm trying to... oh, there it is. I was like, get out of here, you other link. We already did you. Let's see. I bet this indie film thing constantly updates. Oh, indie on Netflix. Well, it's going to be Tubi because I don't have an account to Netflix.
Okay. I know at one point we both did. I don't know
Yeah.
if I still do or not either. But
I wonder if this is one that constantly keeps updating. I imagine the Tubi one does.
probably because it's the full category of films.
Yeah. And I guess some of these would probably be Netflix originals for the Netflix one.
Probably.
But oh, not that one. Well, it might be. I've seen trailers for number 20 on the Cinemaholics one. I'm just like scrolling through the one that I know I'm not going to be watching, so
Just to get some ideas.
yeah. And or I might be like, this looks fun. Maybe I'll look it up and see if it's on anything else. But no. But yeah, and then oh, and Tubi. Oh my goodness, I look at this Tubi list almost all the time when I'm looking for something. Wait, The Untouchables is an indie film?
Which one's Untouchables?
It's
oh, I see they have A24 films on here.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Bodies.
for my
Oh, they put... Maybe it's on there because it says and festival favorites.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's just like looking at here, it's just okay. Hereditary, which we both watched. Past Lives, which we both watched. Hey, I'm gonna say, did I tell you about the new Tron movie with the whatever Joker boy in it?
Jared Leto?
Yeah. Did I ever mention that to you? I can't remember.
I don't know.
But we watched that when we were on the Disney cruise, and Greta Lee's in it, who's in Past Lives, and I was like, I felt bad for her because I'm like, I know she's a good actor, but it feels like
The script wasn't given or anything.
Yeah, I'm like, there's some parts that yes, she was, but there's like a whole scene where it's like, oh, they called her in to like say this line because it doesn't even sound the same. And she's like, oh, my ribs, they're broken. And it's just like, it's like, oh man, it's like I feel bad for her. It's like she's good in Past Lives. But yeah, here's another one of my favorite movies on the first line of this, Nightcrawler. Movies that I like. I'm just saying movies that I'm not going to be able to watch. Well, I could watch them, but I already watched them. But yeah. Oh man, this list is just going to keep going. I'm just like kind of scrolling. I'm like, oh, okay, this is still happening. There's like movies that I have no clue what they are.
Indie movie for sure then.
Yeah. There's another movie called Bodied. Oh, and they have The Apprentice, which is I think the Donald Trump thing.
Oh, with the guy from Marvel is him.
I guess so. Yeah,
Winter
I can't
Soldier's
remember.
actor.
Oh yeah, I forget his name. But oop, I didn't want to do that. So anyway, yeah. So join us next week as we watch this. Oh, the Green Room's on this list. They pretty
Yeah, I
much
noticed
just
there's
put-
a lot of A24 movies.
Yeah. So I'm like looking, I was like, wait a second, this looks like a movie that I was looking at to watch for a different category, but I might Okay, yeah, I might watch that because I know that was a movie I was looking at. Anyway, before I get distracted multiple times, yeah, join us next week. Find out what we're gonna talk about. Hey, I just watched that movie. Okay, I gotta stop looking at this list.
Keep distracting yourself.
It was like a movie that I tell other people that they should check out. So anyway, we will be here next week. Find out what indie movie we watched, and let's see, what was it? Under 50 minutes. Okay, no, we weren't even close. So anyway, there's the pen. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Peace.